Biafra, superstars, media.
Yeah, Biafra, Biafra. Yeah, superstar media. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. I wanna know. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra, Biafra. I wanna know. We're going back to the land. We're going back to the motherland. Biafra, Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We're going back to the land. Tell me about Biafra. We're going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra, Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We're going back to the land. My people, my people. My name is Biafra Superstars Media. Today, our brother, the Biafran Golden Child, will be presenting a masterclass on a great Biafran, a great son of Biafra, known as Mark Anamelechi Chukwunwike Odu. For most of you that don't know, this was a young boy during the time of the Biafran War. He was a student during the time of the Biafran War. And he saw what's happening to Biafrans. He could sense the danger, that he went all the way to help the Biafran government to hijack a plane, one of the Nigerian aircrafts, because he knew that the Biafran government will need one. Today, Mr. Mark Odu, for short, is still alive. He is still waxing strong. And today we wish to present that masterclass presentation, because we must study. Biafrans, we must study. Do your research. Do your research about Biafran War. Case in point, I just played a video. There was somebody in that video. This picture you are seeing now. Who is this man in that picture? Do you know who the man is? That soldier? Do you know who was speaking? Who is the man in the middle of that picture? Do your research. He is no other than General Olusegun Obasanjo. Obasanjo, that's him there talking while in Biafra land during the Biafran War. I deliberately placed him in that my video intro, hoping somebody will ask me a question that who is this guy? But nobody has done so since I made that video. I am meticulous in what I do. You must observe me. Everything I do, they make sense. Everything I do is spiritual. Any video you see me make, any intro, any jingle I make, I'm not just doing it for the sake of doing it. You must observe what I do. You must do your research. The man you are seeing here is Olusegun Obasanjo, explaining what the Zoo government were doing when people were being raped, our women were being raped in Biafra land. And the BBC press, they put the light on him. Say, how come this is happening? Is it really happening? He said, yes, it's happening. But not as much as people were claiming. He did not deny it to an extent. Without any much further ado, I present to you the Biafran golden class to make us and give us this masterclass. If you're ready, the Biafran golden child. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're hearing my voice from. This is the Biafra golden child. And once again, I'm mighty glad to be able to make this audio to you today. Yeah, for today's audio, I want to take us a bit back to history. I mean, because history has been removed in our schools, the Nigerian government doesn't want people to know the history of Biafra. And so a lot of, young people today have forgotten or may not know that Biafra has its heroes. There are people who were special heroes during the Biafran struggle. I mean, people whose activities and actions during between 1967 and 1970 played a major role for the sustenance and survival of the agitation within those periods. I mean, these were some of them were scientists that brought up so many infrastructures that under very tight situations, under a hazardous environment, they were still able to bring in things that actually, stunned and stunned the world. I mean, when you consider things like Obunike, Obunigwe, Obunigwe, the famously constructed bombing apparatus that left Nigerian soldiers scrambling for safety, because once the Obunigwe strikes, anybody around that area felt its impact, either suicidally or halfway maimed, because it comes with a lot of aggression. If it's not destroying, if it's not killing, it is maiming. It was highly disastrous for the Nigerian army who encountered the Bonibwe, technology of the Igbo then. Yeah, apart from scientists who did so well, I mean, here were people who created an airport from nowhere, for where a plane could land, where a plane could take off from. I mean, it was a feat that is still, bamboozling a lot of scientists today. I mean, even though Nigeria eventually won that war, but they knew that yes, the minds, the brains who perfected these apparatuses, who perfected these arrangements, were no ordinary mortals. These were brains only the gods could have given such wisdom under such a very tight, situation and unconducive atmosphere. So we must give kudos to them. We must talk about them. They have stopped history in schools. Of course, the generality of young adults now do not know these people. I think gradually I'll begin to, talk about some of these people who we shall call the heroes of Biafra. The heroes of Biafra. I think we can call this Biafra 202. Yes, it's master's class, so to speak. It's Biafra 202. So we begin to, it will be like a series, hopefully, where we begin to talk of personalities that distinguish themselves in very massive ways, in very creative ways, in highly intellectual ways, fearless, brave ways, to sustain and, keep their people alive. It's a good one, and I'm happy. The man I'll talk about today, the personality I'll talk about today, is still hale and hearty, is still alive, even though he was a prodigious and wonderful Biafran to the core, So give me your ears, let's interact together. Yes, fellow Biafrans, I think I want to talk about, the man I will call Mark Anamelechi Chukwunwike Odu. Mark Anamelechi Chukwunwike Odu, Mark Odu for short. I want to talk about him and his role in the hijack of the Nigeria Airways during the Biafra, era. I mean, these are things that the Biafran children should know when we are looking forward to 2nd December 2024. We should equally remember that we have some famous, heroes and men who stood the test of time, despite the very dangerous and life-threatening circumstances surrounding them. They still stood out from the crowd and, put their footprints on the sands of time. Yes. Who is Mark Anamelechi Chukwunwike Odu? You might ask me. Okay, let's get into it. Yeah. The story of Mark Anamelechi Chukwunwike Odu and his role in the hijack of the Nigeria Airways Fokker 27 NAAV on April 27, 1967, which later became Biafran's first plane. Yes, if you didn't get that, the bottom line is this man, Anamelechi Chukwunwike Odu, was the one who led the hijack of Nigerian Airways Fokker 27 NAAV on the April 27, 1967. That was the first plane Biafra eventually had all through, the Civil War. I think Anamelechi Chukwunwike Odu, role should be properly understood. Yes. In 1966, Mark Odu, a student leader in the University of Nigeria Nsukka, realized the Igbo people were in danger after the January coup, which didn't involve any prominent Igbo figures. Yeah, of course, because that was the general coup, January coup, the Nzogu, what has been called the Nzogu coup. And, so much killings and deaths occurred. And it did not involve any prominent Igbo figures. And so the North were highly agitated and they felt it was a betrayal. Why would a coup take only their own personalities and not, other personalities from the Southwest and especially the Southeast? So because of that, there was a counter-coup in the month of July of that same year, 1966, that led to mass killings of Ndi Igbo, culminated in 2 million deaths by between 66 to 67, 68, 69, 70, pushing Mark Odu towards rebellion. The young man felt, if my people were being killed like this because of a coup, that even the Igbos didn't really, wasn't an Igbo coup. Yes, Igbos were just fortunate not to have been, we have prominent men who didn't die, like Nnamdi Azikiwe and co, like Mike Opara, like, great personalities. Why should they, because of that, now accuse the Igbos and try to annihilate them? The gentleman felt, very bad, and he felt there was need for a rebellion. So Mark Odu confronted military leaders about the violence against his people, leading to student demonstrations with support from various unions. His activism played a role in influencing Lieutenant Colonel Ojukwu to declare the Biafran Republic. Yes, Ojukwu was so fascinated by the young man and all that he represented that he was motivated to declare the Biafran Republic. Odu and 6 others were then trained in guerrilla warfare and explosives, preparing them for more direct action against the Nigerian government. Yes, the 6 of them included, Colonel Chude Soke, Colonel Obioha, airline captains, F.A. Osakwe and Ibikare. All were brown of Nigeria Airways. The scientists in Yanga, Messrs. Odu, Honora Mwanya, Godi Ikwazo, and Alison Okeke. Those were people who, were at the forefront of, the guerrilla warfare, where they were trained how to do everything for Biafra, support Biafra, strategize for Biafra, and do every manner of inventions for Biafra. Among these people, only 4 operatives in Yanga, Ibikare, Mwanya, and Odu did the actual hijacking. Odu was the youngest, but military intelligence asked him to head the operation for his courage. He had a massive courage. Although he was the youngest, he was asked to be the, Colonel Ojukwu told him, go ahead and lead the delegation. I trust you. I know you can deliver. Like the biblical David, go and get us, Goliath said. Lieutenant Colonel Ojukwu then authorized the hijacking of a plane to acquire assets and secure a means of transportation for potential diplomatic efforts. For the hijack, the advice group assembled, including military officers and airline captains, with Mark Odu appointed as the youngest leader due to his bravery. Odu and his team prepared for the hijacking. They secured plane tickets and accommodations in Benin. On April 23, 1967, during a flight, Yanga storms the cockpit with a gun, forcing the pilots to change course to Enugu. Odu and his team reassured the passengers that no one would be harmed and that they would arrange transport for their return after reaching Enugu. Odu was satisfied with their successful operation, noting they took control of a plane from Nigeria Airways, making Biafra the first black nation to successfully hijack a plane. What a testimony. What a history. Odu was later captured and imprisoned for more than 2 years. Yes, he was captured eventually by Nigerian authorities and imprisoned for more than 2 years. A sad one, but life still went on. Mark Anamelechi Chukwunwike Odu is very well and alive and is currently the traditional ruler of Amachoro Ngurumbise. Amacho Ngurumbise is the traditional ruler of Amacho Ngurumbise to date. And so it's a good one that this man who today is serving as the traditional ruler of Amor Ngurumbise was one time a fierce antagonist to the Nigerian government, because even as a student, he spearheaded a lot of things that brought Biafra to the limelight, and that secured Biafra its first airplane. It's not an easy one. I know a lot of children don't know this. I know a lot of adults don't know this. But you begin to find out pretty soon that we have great men in Biafra land. Keep your ears attuned to this segment. I promise it will be a continuous flow. For today, we're celebrating the Mark Anamelechi Chukwunwike Odu, who was a very successful agitator, and highly intelligent Biafra, who started as a student unionist at the University of Nigeria Nsukka. May he continue to reign peacefully, and may God grant him long life and prosperity and good health. And pray especially that he would be alive to witness the full inauguration of Biafra come 2nd December 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, let me pause here until I read you and I bring you another great personality of Biafra. Long live the federal let's wish the United States of Biafra everything good for now, pending 2nd December when it will be fully inaugurated. Thank you and God bless. Bye for now.
Yeah, Biafra. Yeah, Superstar Media. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. I wanna know. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. I wanna know. We going back to the land. We going back to the motherland. Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the land. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the land.